Okay, so that update video I made 1 or 2 months ago, yeah, I'm gonna redo that because I felt like I was holding a lot of things back for the sake of others, and I'm not gonna mention their names for their own personal safety, and also the fact that I don't want them to be attacked by anybody, but I need to get all this stuff off my chest. I'm tired of keeping it in. So I'm only gonna mention the things that are necessary, and if people are bothered by it, I don't care anymore. I'm not holding anything back. If I lose friends because of this, so be it. It's my choice. And if there are things that you want to bring up in the comments section, please feel free. It's just I'm tired of it. I'm not doing this anymore. Okay, so being a YouTube fan dubber, I was just I don't know how many years ago this was. I think this was like 2015, 2016, maybe earlier than that. I was fan dubbing for the first time, and I wasn't getting any attention by anybody. I'm leading up to the subject of the video, but this is basically how I met a few individuals. And then people started actually getting interested in my fan dubs. They actually found them entertaining. And I was very, very grateful because I thought that I just, couldn't make anything all that great. Aside from crappy Animash videos or stuff like that. Or spoofs, which aren't even really spoofs. They were those, Adventure Team videos. And I'm glad I still don't make them and post them publicly. But yeah, that's what my YouTube channel was before all those videos got deleted by me out of embarrassment. But anyways, while I was fan dubbing, a person got interested in my work and she wanted to collab with me. And, so I did collab with her a few times and it was pretty fun. And then she invited me into this Google Plus group, and I thought she was the head, but it turns out she wasn't. It was a friend of hers named Squadallahthistle, and he is going to be the main subject of this entire video and why I'm just not in the most pleasant of moods that I usually am in this video. But yeah, Squad was at first, because he was the head of the group, I was like, okay, so you invited me? No, my friend did. And I was like, oh, okay. And, I should have noticed from the beginning, but, things seemed fine at first. I made some new friends along the way, some bronies, some other fan dubbers, I believe some editors and artists as well. And it was a pretty small group. We had a good time whenever we would draw art for one another or collab on something if we even had the chance. But a year or so later, I started noticing a little bit of a pattern with Squadallahthistle. Is that he shows favoritism a lot. Specifically with the friend who invited me into the group. And I'm just going to refer to her as that because she does not need to deal with any of these issues at all. She's already had to deal with Squadallahthistle enough already. And if she wants to be open about it, if she wants to voice her problems that she had with him, she uploaded a video about it before, but if she wants to do it again, it's up to her. But yeah, it's up for her to decide, not me. But anyways, yeah, I started noticing that there were times where I would ask him, hey, do you want to collab in something? And if it was from a movie or a TV show or a video game that he didn't like, he would just not want to do it at all. But if it was of a friend of his that he knew more closely, he wouldn't show any bias over the media in question. He would just do it outright. And at first it was I was rolling with it because I was just like thinking in my head, okay, Brandon, don't be salty about it. Just roll your eyes about it and move on. Do other things. You have a bunch of other friends to talk to. But the thing about the group is that it always felt like, and some of you may not know this, but like the adventure team community, there's a guy in there named Ralphie, and he also he has like a huge ego. He like makes himself a huge part of the community. Well, that's kind of what Squadallahthistle kind of felt like he would be doing to me and the rest of the group. He would kind of be like the center of attention in the group. And then there were a lot of conversations between him and the friend. I'm just going to say the friend. I'm sorry, this is unscripted, and I don't want to mention her name for her sake. But there would be constant conversations between Squadallahthistle and her, and it would always, like, it was always the exact same trend. It was always, like, role-play related stuff where they were, like, saying, they would, like, say, oh, ruffles the hair, nuzzles, blushes, oh, you're cute, no, you're cuter, and it was incredible cringe for me, but it was them doing it, by themselves, and I was like, fine, I'll let them do it. But it was constant, and there was also a running theme where there always had to be Mew or like some other kind of Pokemon-related thing, because that's what she liked a lot. So like if she felt down about something, that's what Squadallaht would share, and that would basically be it. He wouldn't he would barely like say, oh, hey, hang in there, you'll be fine, or anything like that. He would barely even try whatsoever, and I guess he's not good at social skills or anything like that, because there would be occasions where I would be like, hey, do you want to enter like a call or something, or voice any issues that you may have with me, because if there is, we can resolve those issues in a simple Skype call or something like that. But he's one of those individuals where he just does not feel comfortable sharing his personal information or his name or anything like that. And I can understand if it's like doxing or something, but just having a simple call, like, dude, if you're wanting to be in the entertainment industry and become a voice actor, you kind of need to do that in order to get somewhere. But anyway, there was like this point where I was just kind of having enough with his attitude towards me and other people in the group, and there were even times where he would like cause trouble and rifts between people. He would like contact people without them knowing, without their consent, and I don't know all the details. I'm pretty sure most of the other people in the group that were in there while I left, because I actually left, I couldn't take it anymore. They would probably know a lot more about it than I do, because from what I heard, he became very obsessive towards my friend that I keep on mentioning, and she's voiced her opinions about him to me, and she sounded almost heartbroken about like what's been going on, and it's hard for me to understand every little thing because I don't know what happened. Only she and a few of her friends do, because they were still in the group. But yeah, I left, and I felt depressed. When I left, I felt like I couldn't trust anybody anymore, especially like online wise, because like there's only like one or two other groups that I'm in, like on Discord, where I actually voice act with them, and I've been having a blast with them. They actually, they treat me and the others with respect. They know how to like, they know how to like converse with other people without making it seem awkward. I'm sorry if I'm stuttering or taking time to think. It's just I did not script this, so I do apologize. But yeah, I am so glad that I left. It felt toxic to me, And another thing that I wanted to mention about Squad is that on his channel, on he's the head of the group that I was in. Um, to me, he seems like such a narcissist. Like, maybe unintentionally, because I could tell by the way that he speaks. And it's not a fault of other people who have it, because I have it as well. He probably has like a form of Asperger's or autism or something like that. I don't know if it's high functioning or low functioning for him, and I have no problem with that, because people who have those symptoms can do great things. It's been proven before. I'm not trying to make fun. I'm not trying to say, oh, you're retarded. But there's just something about Squad and his narcissistic attitude about how great he is as a voice actor and as a singer. Dude, I've looked at your channel. You cannot sing or voice act worth a damn. When you voice act, it sounds like you're nervous all the time, and you never alter your voice to fit the character. It's just your typical voice. And when you sing, you don't like balance the audio properly. You don't download an instrumental of the song. You just play the audio from like a speaker or something, and whenever you sing the entire song, you do it in like one take. And I guess you didn't take a few drinks before doing the video, because you're constantly out of breath. Like, dude, if you want to voice act and sing, and you want to get in the industry, you actually need to practice what you preach, and actually practice and do a good job. And like, apparently you, during projects like audio dramas that you've been involved in, you would you would talk to the person in charge, and you would be like, oh, I don't know if they're fit for the role. I don't know if they should play that person. In fact, I think you've even done it to me at one point. And yes, I'm insulted by that, dude. Not cool whatsoever. So anyway, and I'm sorry if you hear background noise. My parents are in the living room. Then there's also thunder going on outside. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is the more controversial aspect of this video, is while I was in the group, that whole Toon Critic fiasco happened in the Brony community where he was outed as a pedophile. And not only him, but a bunch of other Brony pedophiles were coming out of the woodworks, because people like FNGR and channels like that were, investigating and digging into people's accounts, and, people that even I've subscribed to have turned out to be pedophiles, and it's sad, but, screw them. Help the people that actually need to be talked to and comforted and whatever, and move on. And like, I will admit, this was an issue more for me, and this is kind of a vent in my case. What I would do is, whenever another Brony was outed as a sexual predator, I would notify the group about it, being like, hey, this Brony in the community is a bit of a predator. Make sure you do not contact them. Make sure you don't put them in any projects, because you're going to be in trouble if people find out that you're involved with them. Some of them were okay with it. They were like, oh, thank you for warning us. Others, I guess, would be a little more sensitive about it, and I guess they would think that I would claim that they're pedophiles as well because they're bronies. And that, honestly, is kind of a weird reaction. Like, if anything, you should just be more thankful that I'm, like, bringing this to your attention. But no, there's been one or two people that flat out just don't even want to talk to me because I've brought up the whole Brony thing too much. And I'm not saying that they're pedophiles. I have no idea if they are. But it just feels like they just want to ignore it for the sake of either, I want to keep this community as positive as possible, or B, they're afraid of being called out by people like FNGR. And I can understand that, because FNGR and Leo Convoy and people like that, they don't play around whatsoever. But when it comes to stuff like this, even if you're questioned and you're not guilty, it's still important. And, like, me having to be, like, disconnected by people just because they're afraid of having to be asked questions, even if it's unnecessary, I find it a little unfair. I mean, there are some Brony friends that I still have even after that, and I am thankful for that. But the few that just don't want to talk to me at all because I kept on mentioning it, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. And yeah, like, I'm not a part of the Brony community. I want to voice act. I want to, like, play Discord or something whenever I get the chance. But I'm not a Brony. I've never been in the community whatsoever, and there's nothing wrong about being a Brony. It has its positives and negatives. Any fandom does, really. It's just that, be careful who you talk to, and like, don't always look up your idols, because there are times where they'll stab you in the back. Hopefully I got all that I wanted off my chest, and if there's not, then I'll put it in the comment section as, like, a pinned comment or something. But, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening. And again, if there's anything that any of you want to open up about, or if you want to talk about it, go ahead. If I lost friends because of this video, so be it. I needed to let this out my chest because I'm tired of holding things back, and even if I did continue to hold things in, people would start questioning me. Alright, bye.